Hi. So I want to talk to you guys. My name's Coach Michelle, and I want to go over some seating resting positions that can alleviate pain in the hips, the knees, the ankles, can open up your hips, can open up your ankles. So there's about 10 different seating or resting positions that we want to start engaging with to re-ground ourselves and to be able to move forward intentionally and healthily. I don't think that's a word, but more healthy. So I first want to show you guys, this is Seiza position. And I would recommend first that you get a good mat. You can do this inside the house, outside. Right now I'm outside because it's a really nice day, so I take advantage of those times. So I have a good mat here. I have a towel just for extra, just protection. You can also use the floor in your home. Just make sure you have a good cushion underneath. Invest in some good yoga mats that are maybe about half an inch to an inch thick for your resting positions until your body and your knees get used to sitting on the ground more. And you can actually use the ground to release that lactic acid within the muscles, kind of like myofascia release. Most of the time I used to use a foam roller. I don't use a foam roller anymore. I literally use the ground. The ground is hard. The ground has no give. Therefore, when you run and roll your ankles, your knees, your hips, your glutes on the ground, you'll actually feel your muscles getting a workout. So when we rest, we're actually learning how to get back to the basics. Children start on the floor. Right now, my feet are in a fetal position. So my feet are hugging my hips. They are flat. The tops of my feet are flat to the ground. My shins are flat to the ground as well. This is just another position. This is a very natural position for us to be in. You'll see a lot of kids, they can completely go here. This is very natural, very comfortable for our bodies. It keeps our hips are back, our glutes are back. We can move here, we can work here, we can eat here, we can watch TV here, and we're still maintaining strong foundations. And then we can go into our next. So our next one would be we can go from Seiza. And then if we can't get all the way down here, I recommend yoga block. Have a yoga block and sit that bad boy right between your feet. And this can alleviate some pain as well off your knees when you're first starting. So put the yoga block there or extra pillows. You can even add more and more blocks until you find yourself being able to push back and sit down on the yoga block, eventually removing the yoga block, getting into our natural Seiza position. Next move we're going to do is the toes tucked, or the samurai. Well, this is actually just toes tucked position, samurai position. And we're really working on strengthening our toes and our ankles. Again, my heels are away. This is the samurai. Heels are away, strengthening. I'm resting on the balls of my feet, pressing into the ground, really resting here. Again, knees are still on the nice surface. This is your samurai position. Next, we're going to get to all fours position. This is your all fours position. Here we can stretch, we can move, we can read, we can even watch like a movie on an iPad. We can even start getting into our rockers from this position, really opening up the hips. If you've been in yoga before, this is a great position for cat-cow. Still works, but it's on the ground. We're using the ground for our foundation. So this is our all fours position. 2, 3. Now we're going to come into our half seiza. So we simply bring one leg up. So if we had our legs outstretched, we take, for example, our our right leg out to in, slide it back and under, sit on the foot and that ankle. We want the top of that back foot to actually be flat on the mat. Again, use your yoga block if you can't get your foot all the way down, and simply put that yoga block on the hip that is going to have the raised knee. Now this raised knee, this foot, everything is in. I'm collapsing into my body. It's safe. I can come here, I can stretch. Again, I can sit here and rest. I'm very comfortable in this position. Eventually you can get it where you're sitting on your ankle. This opens up your ankle, opens up the hip area. And my foot, okay, just so you can make sure you can see it, is right next to my knee. It's not out here. It's right next to my knee, and it's tight. You can usually sit in these positions from anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes until you have built up the endurance and built up the stamina, and your ankles and your hips don't hurt in these positions. Use whatever sort of assistive device you need, yoga block, towels, extra cushions, a pillow, whatever you need, until your feet, the top of your foot is resting on the ground and you're able to cup it under your hips. Okay? When you get tired, switch legs. Half seiza with the opposite leg. Again, wrapping internally into myself. Half seiza, opposite foot. The next one we can come into is the grappler style. Strong hand, strong foot. I have one leg is bent. The top of the left foot is trying to get into the ground. The top of the left foot is, I'm trying to get the very top of this foot actually to be flat as it can be. And it goes kind of halfway. The other foot is going to be in a stand-up knee position. This gets me ready to move, to get up, to stand up, sit down, or simply to watch TV. This is more of a dynamic sort of resting position, but it still works great because it's one where you can really move around a lot too and get in and out of quickly. So if you were sitting like this, it's really great to get up from. So that's your grappler position. Again, switch legs. You can lean a little bit with it. You can stretch. All these movements allow you to stretch. All right, next is the resting butterfly. Feet are flat out in front of you. Use your arms to kind of tighten your knees. Oh, this feels so good. What it looks like from the side. Feet are flat, straight ahead. I want to push my hips back. Make sure I'm still sitting up straight. This will cause a little bit on your back if you're not able to get there yet, but the more you work it, the easier it'll get. The next one is the butterfly. Bring the feet together, push the hips back. We don't want to come into a curved position in the butterfly, all right? Side view. We really want to make sure we keep our feet together, and our goal really is to open up the inner thighs, these inner hips, but we are pushing, we're walking or pushing our glutes back behind us, and then we're coming into a seated position so that we are not rounded. We want to be careful not to round our back and push our head forward, giving us tech neck, where our upper neck, upper back, that spine, that thoracic spine area gets compressed. We want to stay decompressed. You can breathe here real good. Whew. You feel it sometimes in the low back that's my weak spot. Right in the middle back, like right in my mid back here. But we really want to work this out, and this feels amazing. So after we come to our butterfly, the next one we come to crisscross, applesauce. The goal of crisscross on the ground is to get the tops of your feet to be flat on the mat under yourself. So it's flat on both feet. Crisscross. Again, this is the same with butterfly. We do not want to get stuck rounding here on a phone because this can be really convenient. Side view. We don't want this. We want to walk our glutes back, keeping our glutes behind our rib cage. We want to rest here. Phone, watch TV, read, eat, all on the ground. Once we come out of this, then we can go into half lotus. So we take the blade of one of our feet and we guide it into the opposite hip crease of our other leg. Again, we walk our hips back, making sure that we are keeping our spine in alignment and not compressed, but decompressed and lengthened. Here we can stretch it out. A lot of yogis will do this. These lotus positions are the best for maintaining center of gravity because our knees are jolted forward and our hips are definitely behind us. Therefore, we are grounded into the ground. This foot is pressing into this hip and this upper part of my leg here, while the other foot, tops of the foot, is pressed into the ground, flat. And then eventually, I'm not 100% full lotus, but the people that can get to full lotus is where you have both feet within the crevice of the hip joint. So one foot here. Let's see if I can get it. Not there yet, almost. But most of us can work up to half lotus. This is where we want to be. So let's see if we can run a series to get you to this point here. Feet stretched out in front of you. Let's take our left foot and we're going to bring it towards our glute, straight up, hold it. Our other leg that is currently straight, we're going to bring it. Oh, wait, no. Start over. Legs in front of you. Let's bring our left leg and cross it over our right hip. So now we have a knee up, one leg straight. Our right foot is straight. We are going to bring it and bend it away from our lifted knee here. So we're going to kind of come to the side. We're going to drive it away, try to get that top of the foot into the ground. And then we're going to let this knee that was up straight fall. And we're going to guide the foot back into the hip. And we're going to slowly find the position into the half lotus. Now we'll run through these real quick. Again, you're going to see how we can move from each position. Seiza, samurai, all fours. Oh, all fours. We can come into the half seiza. Half seiza, opposite foot. Grappler. Grappler. Resting butterfly. Butterfly. Crisscross applesauce. Ouch. Half lotus into full lotus. Can't hold this one for more than about 30 seconds. Woo! But it feels good. And then the other two I forgot was our deep squat resting positions. So if you can't get into the deep squat resting position quite yet, or you can kind of chill here for more than 30 minutes, or not 30 minutes, but more than 30 seconds without your, because I want to make sure you can see my feet on this. Because what's really important is that you see that the feet are straight ahead and the heels are down. Really working on keeping my heels down. But if you can't get your heels all the way down, this is a great position right here. The resting, this is kind of like my resting deep squat versus the deep squat. Resting deep squat, you're on the balls of your feet. This is a great position to be in, great position to step doing something. You push your hips back and your glutes back, and you can move. You can get up quickly. Here, you can even bend down, pushing your glutes back. You're bending down, you're picking something up, pushing the glutes back, getting back up. The squat is amazing because even something this small, like this clicker here, it's down. I can shoot the hips back, glutes back, come down to a resting squat from all the balls of my feet, pick this up, and instead of going straight up, I'm gonna go back and up. So back and up without any pain. This is your overview for the resting positions on the ground. Let's reground.